Hi friends, Teacher Shannon here again. I wanted to show you another cool book about bugs or insects, which we're learning a little bit about this week. This book is about bees. They are so important to us as well. I'm going to read a couple pages and show you some really cool pictures. So the next time that you are outside and you see a bee, you will know what it's doing because bees have really important jobs. So let's learn about them. Okay, the bee is a social insect. That means it likes to hang out with other bees. Bees are small, hairy little bugs. They have 3 body parts, 1, 2, 3. The head, the thorax, and the abdomen. Whoa. Bees are aware of what goes on around them through their sense organs that they have on their head and on their legs. So our senses are eyes, nose, mouth, touch, hearing, and bees have similar senses as well. They can see movements and they direct their flight, and they know the difference between colors. They also have hearing and smell and touch located in their antenna, which is the front part of their head. Little pieces that stick out like this. Bees are very social insects. This means that they live in a community, and each bee has a very specific job. It's absolutely necessary for the survival of their community. So everybody has a role to play, and everybody does a good job working together. There are 3 types of bees in a hive. The hive is their community. There's one queen bee, she's in charge. There's thousands of busy worker bees. And then there's hundreds of chubby, lazy drone bees. Everybody has a role and a purpose to play. This is what the inside of a natural beehive might look like. There's honeycombs. They fill it with honey and then they seal it off. And they all work together. Let's read about bees and pollination. 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 Really big word. Pollination is the transport of pollen from one flower to another. So inside every flower, there is little pieces of pollen. And we have to have that pollen in order to make seeds, which can grow more plants. Bees are the ones that carry pollen from one place to another. They collect it on their legs. When they land inside a flower, they get a bunch on their legs, and then they fly off to the next flower. And then they will leave some of the pollen in the next flower. They're one of the most important pollinating insects since they visit so many flowers every day. When their bodies become covered in pollen, they get this sticky yellow stuff all over them. They take it to the next flower, and some of it falls off there so that that flower can make seeds. And then they take the pollen back home as well. So bees are very important in growing plants. Many of the plants we love. Think about some of the plants that you like and that you eat. Like fruit, pears, apples, things like nuts, almonds, walnuts. All of these come from the bees pollinating them. Things in your garden this year might be tomatoes, peppers, strawberries. They might all need the bees. So the bees collect the pollen on all the beautiful plants and they spread it to the other plants. Bees also make honey. This is a very, very important job as well. Raise your hand if you like honey. I know I do. It's pretty yummy. So bees have a sweet tooth. They eat honey and pollen every single day. They bring the honey and the pollen back to the hive for the queen bees to be able to eat. They put their honey in here Well, they give it to each other, and then they put the liquid in here, and then they seal it off. So this holds all the honey until they can get back to it, until they need to eat it. So here's their honeycomb. Here's all their honey stored in here that they've made. And how does the honey get to us, though? Because we can buy honey at the store. Well, there's these people called beekeepers, and this is a very important job. Some people are beekeepers. They make boxes for the bees to live in. The bees start their colony or their home in here. Bees put all their honey in here, and when the beekeeper is ready, he or she will come around and take the little shelves out. You can squeeze the honey out, and then you can put honey in a jar and sell it at the store or give it to a loved one. So there are different ways you can get honey, but this is how the honey gets from the bees to the humans, by a beekeeper. Very good. Does anybody like to put honey on their food? Maybe on toast? I have seen some friends eat honey with bananas on a sandwich. That sounds so silly and good. And sometimes honey can go in your drinks, and it's very good for you. So bees are important. So if you are outside looking for insects or bugs and you see a bee, don't be afraid. Just remember that it has a very important job, and it's going to help take care of your garden and pollinate all the plants and the trees. Thanks, friends.